Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, for your Sunday, it's going to be ByuN versus Serral here on Oxide, the latter edition. Bottom left, it is Serral. Top right, it is ByuN. One of my favorite matchups featuring two of my favorite players. Does it get better than this? Maybe it does. Alright, hit that like button if you're excited for ByuN versus Serral. And check out the Falcon Paladin Hour. It is a weekly podcast featuring myself and Somicron and Aussie. We've been doing it for a few years now, so we talk about StarCraft 2, especially GSL, and all the premier tournaments. We bet on it. I took Rogue in the upcoming GSL Super Tournament, and Somicron, as usual, took Maru, so we'll have to see who wins that. So 16, 18, 17... here for Serral when Rax expand to Rooney. Here from ByuN, you won't make a Reaper, I feel like. But yeah, just search Falcon Paladin in your podcast app, whatever OS you have, whether it's Android, Apple, Windows, Mac OS, Windows Phone. People still have Windows phones. My sisters had Windows phones like 2 years ago, and they loved them. They thought they were great, but then they kind of fell off the face of the earth. The phones did. I'm not sure where they are now, is what I'm trying to say. Anywho, Falcon Paladin, check it out. We're on Spotify, too, if you want to listen to your podcasts out there, which, sure. Why wouldn't you? It's a decent platform enough for auditory things, yeah? Yeah. Alright, so what are we doing? Anything crazy? No. SCV's here to make sure it's not a pool first to play. Which it is not. Are we gonna make? No, it's Marine. That is Marine production from ByuN. He's got one. Got a factory, and yeah. So not gonna bother with the Reaper. He does have the wrist issues, which makes it kind of pointless for him to spend a lot of wrist motion and energy on a Reaper that might get a Ling kill, but will by no means win the game. He still has to make a Reaper every once in a while to keep the Zerg players honest. See, if he never made a Reaper, then Serral would not be making Lings at all at this point. So, again, you can't not ever make Reapers because Zerg players will happily take those 2 extra larvae and make drones with them, and then you're in trouble. So yeah, Lings come out for no purpose whatsoever. They feel bad about it. Third base on the way here from Serral. And I'm going to guess Starport? Yeah, we're just going to 1-1-1 it here. Start that Hellion production, deal with any Lings that might show up. Starport, maybe a Banshee or two if we're worried about some kind of a Roach Ravager attack. But it's not Rogue, it is Serral. It turns out. StarCraft music has just always been soothing, inspiring. It's just always been good. I don't know what to tell you about it otherwise. Yeah, Ling's just here to see what's going on, but your scouting days are over, Mr. Zergy the Zergling. Let's see, Medevac and Tech Lab on the factory. So a little bit of a 2-base Marine-style attack early, right? This isn't a 2 Medevac attack, this is a 1 Medevac attack, which is going to come about a minute earlier than the other variety. And tank production. So we're going to do some pressure here. Try to kill Serral early, which has been a pretty... it's found success, this particular strategy of coming after Serral early rather than just harass, and try to beat him in the late game. It seems harder to do, so if you can show up with a 2-base, real strong attack. From 2 different angles, actually. Does he have the... No, these are them. Yeah, force Lings out, right? Force him to make Banelings. Baneling speed can't really be done until a good amount of time from this point in time. So he has to defend with things like Roaches and Speedlings and Queens, which Marines can kind of get around a bit, to be honest with you. Roaches are in production, 3rd CC on the way from ByuN. This is not a 2-base all-in by any stretch. He's definitely more interested in, no. And just putting some pressure on. Again, earlier than Serral maybe expects it. But looking at being ready for this. Oh, Serral. You can't get him on every attack, that's for sure. You gotta hope he misses one, you know? Ooh, tank position. Good tank position here on Oxide. That's why this gas isn't taken, in case you're wondering. Okay, also because he doesn't need the gas, but that's part of it. Ravager's on the way to deal with the tank on the other side of the chasm. Tank unsieges, smelling the Ravager production. Zergling here, bashing his head against the wall. Does it look like they're bashing their heads against it rather than hitting it with claws to you? I've always felt like that with Zerglings. They're headbutting, right? Tank dead. Right? They're headbutting the things that they're attacking. They're not really using their claws necessarily. It's just, my headcanon is that's what they're doing. Yours may vary, for sure. But yeah, hit that like button. Just the algorithm for YouTube needs to know that I'm here. And if people are hitting like and leaving comments and stuff, then is good. Also, I read every comment anyone ever makes on any of my videos, which if you're a long-time subscriber, you know that's true. If you've ever tested me, you'd know that's true. Queen shows up. Hellions kind of trying to get in here. That doesn't go very well. Liberator gets 0 kills and looks like she may end her life with 0 kills. Honestly. Well, at least she escapes for now. That's good. Liberator pilot doesn't die with no honor whatsoever. Third CC coming on down here for ByuN. Yeah, just Marines, medevacs, stim, tanks, more barracks in production. Nothing that Serral has not seen before, but the execution thereof. ByuN, if you don't know ByuN was a monster. A monster back in 2012, 2013. In Heart of the Swarm. He would get 3 bases up, and then just make Marine, Marauder, Medevac, and Widow Mines, and just there was nothing Zerg could do about it. Zerg struggled so mightily against this. ByuN did it every game. It didn't matter. He was a monster, and things have changed, right? Things have changed. There are no Terrans that can do that anymore. Even the better Terrans, the elite Terrans of the world today, can't just go 3-base Marine, Marauder, Medevac, Widow Mine and just pressure the Zerg player to death. Which they could. They could back in the Heart of the Swarm days. It was really frustrating for Zerg players to watch, right? And to play against. Especially from ByuN. It just felt so inevitable. He was, again, he was the Serral of his time. Just if you ever watch Serral and feel like it's inevitable, that's how we felt about ByuN back in the day. I will tell you, I've cast a couple Serral losses recently. So if you've been avoiding Serral casts because he just wins every time, that's not true. He does lose here and there. He's not invincible. He did not end up winning the World Championship in 2020, so can't be that good, right? But Roach Ravager stuff here for the time being. Gonna do all right for about the next 5 minutes. I know I talk about this a lot, but Roach Ravager against Terran is viable until about 13 minutes when the Terran is working on 3-3 upgrades, has a ton of Marines and Marauders, and suddenly, even if you have good upgrades on your Roaches and Ravagers, you're gonna die. So Corrosive Vial tossed down on that tank is good. This one getting Corrosive... Oh, what the what? How did he survive that? I don't know, that tank's surviving a little bit longer than perhaps it should have. This is pretty aggressive out of Serral, man. Tank down, third base in trouble. Roach Ravager headbutting its way up the ramp. Any siege tanks anywhere? Gosh, no, this is looking bad. This is looking really bad for ByuN, you guys. That +1 vehicle attack upgrade is denied. Army value 110 to 41. Tank down. Gonna try to hold it. No! GG! Serral wins game 1 of our sneaky twofer. That's right, it's a sneaky twofer Sunday. Did you see that coming? I don't know. Maybe you did. But anyway, yeah, Roach Ravager attacks on like 3.5 bases are pretty incredible. Pretty incredible stuff, man. Just 66 workers for Serral. Just the upgrades mattered. 1-1 was done. ByuN had the 1-1 as well, but Ravagers, Roaches, Ravagers in good numbers. And just didn't lose enough drones to slow him down at all. No drones dead in the first 9 minutes is really a problem for ByuN. So we'll see if he does better in game number 2. But that was just Serral doesn't get harassed nearly enough, doesn't lose much, and then can just power his way to a big Roach Ravager overwhelm. Ooh, rough watching for Terrans. All right, so game 2 of Sneaky Twofer coming your way. Don't go anywhere. Game number 2 of our Sneaky Twofer is here on Oxide again. Bottom left again is Serral. Top right is ByuN. This is from a different tournament than the last one, so it's not the same game. I know it's the same spawn positions and the same map, but trust me, it's not the same game, okay? Whew. Alright, so let's see if ByuN can get off more harassment against Serral. Shall we? 0 drones killed will not get it done against Elite Zerg players. Overlord scouting out for proxy positions. ByuN is not interested in that. Or else he'd be sending out SCVs already. Alright, so what else can we talk about for your Sunday? If you have any requests for particular players you want me to cast, or matches, or maps, let me know in the comments. Again, I read every single one. And I'm usually in the mood to fulfill those. So, once again, not a Reaper. Reaper names are not very common in ByuN games. Are you not going to SCV scout, ByuN? Nope. He's not. So, man, this could be a 12 pool. And your little Marine here would be in a lot of trouble, but it's a hatch first play, so you dodge the bullet. Gambling. It's not just for people in Vegas anymore. Okay, I know. I know gambling is not only done in Vegas, but I kind of needed a snappy slogan, and that fit the bill. Third base going down. And around, let's say, 228. As soon as Serral has 300 minerals. 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, look at my prediction abilities. That's gorgeous. Really fantastic stuff. And there's your starport. So ByuN likes going for the 1-1-1 Arama. Going for double Marine. Probably some Hellions would be my guess. Maybe a tank. We'll see what kind of pressure we're dealing with here. Again, aggression. You gotta be aggressive versus Serral. I know he tried in game 1. I understand that. But successful aggression is better, obviously. Anywho, hold on. It's lifted off the factory. Are we going to see Banshees? Maybe a battlecruiser rush? I haven't seen one of those in a while, mostly because Zergs know how to deal with them. I would not recommend trying it against Serral, to be honest with you. But, yeah. Oh, it is Banshee. Ooh, with Cloak even. Cloak Banshee. Fancy pantsy stuff. The good thing about Banshees is it helps deal with those Roach Ravager attacks that killed him in game 1, so maybe him having Banshees will keep him alive in a similar situation in game 2, or maybe he can use them offensively and kill a ton of drones. That'd be a lot of fun, right? Anyway, Ling's running all over which way. Trying to see, I don't know, proxies, or they're super fast ninjas coming up somewhere, which would honestly be kind of hilarious. But Roach Warren coming in from Serral. It could be defensive, you don't know. Could be offensive, can be used for both purposes. Kind of like Banshees, they can be used for defense. But if you're getting the Cloak upgrade, they're probably for offense. Would be my assumption, yeah. And if you're going to get Cloak, you want to make at least 2. So second Banshee on the way. Banshee. Cruising out on her own. No escorts. Banshee, look at this timing too. Cloak finishes right as the Banshee arrives. Ugh. It's disgusting. It's so well done. Timings these guys have, these players have on their ability. Wait. Oh, okay. Man, that vision range on that Spore is not a joke. So Banshee can usually sit here between bases, maybe kill transferring drones, kill queens that wander out too far, or maybe that don't wander out too far at all. Scouting Overlord gets killed Marines here with a Banshee and 2 Hellions. This is aggressive. This is an aggressive play. Banshee getting free hits off on Queens is going to be really good for the situation. Banshee is getting free hits off on the spawning pools, also very good. Oh, and Serral going to lose his 3rd base to this. All right, that Banshee dies. This Banshee also dies. But 5 drones go down. The 3rd base needs to die. ByuN, I need you to kill it, sir. I know it's going to be a little bit difficult to time it right, but you got it. Okay. So 3rd base for Serral dies. Massive blow to his ability to win this game. The Banshees, the Banelings don't connect on anything here, and suddenly, this little Marine, well, that attack, wow, getting overexcited here, is doing stuff. I don't know if it's going to win the game, but by golly, killing the 3rd base of Serral is a fantastic way to get it started. Get your path to victory started. Do this scan right here would be beautiful. Not going to happen. 3rd base for ByuN coming in. Additional barracks on Zave. Hellbat comes in first, sacrifices himself to the swarm. Actually, intends to sacrifice himself, but pulls back at the nick of time and doesn't die. Interestingly. Tumor down. Nice job. Good map awareness to be back and take that down. Spire on the way from Serral at 6.5 minutes. Which tells me we're making some of the Mutalisks. We don't see that a lot against Terran these days. Thors are a good answer to Mutas. Turrets, Marines, Widow Mines, all good answers to Mutalisks. Like, it is hard for a Terran to not be making something that is really good against Mutalisks in a ZVT. So I don't know. Serral's 3rd base is still not back. I kind of feel like ByuN should be in a pretty healthy position, considering his 3rd base is done and mining at the same time that Serral gets his 3rd back in service. Yeah, it's just sometimes you're dealing with Banshees and a little too focused on that, and you can't necessarily see the big attack coming your way. 2 tanks, it really helps here for ByuN. Look at this. The Queens don't want any part of 2 tanks. Transfuses keeping them alive. Baneling connects, I guess. I don't know. Love the tank positioning in places where Lings can't get good surrounds. That said, coming up this left side against... Oh, look at this. But leaving some Marines behind to keep the tanks alive is really, really good stuff here. Look at these Zerglings. They're countering. I think they're just straight up countering into the 3rd, but this is a problem. Classify this as a bit of a problem. Zerglings in the 3rd base get shoved away by reinforcing units here. ByuN always so good at doing this dance on the front lines where, right, you're not too deep in on the creep. You want to pull back to your tanks as necessary, but you will focus down individual Queens and whatnot. How do these Zerglings... Okay, the Zerglings kind of won the battle, I guess, temporarily. I don't know. Mutas show up. Trying to take down the tank. They almost get 1 tank. Can't quite do it, though. Man, beautiful. Just absolutely fantastic plays here. Out of both players. Baneling's getting some decent connections. Tank does get picked off. It was already very wounded. Easy for the Mutas to finish it off here. The Banelings are the big problem. If this was just Ling... Alright, yeah. If this was just Zergling Mutalisk, it'd go a lot better. But the Banelings are a concern. Medevac's trying to heal up these guys as much as possible. And you know what? Doing pretty good. Mutas falling back to try to take down the tank again. We're reinforcing Marines. Makes them do it a little bit slower. I guess that's a free Mutalisk. Like, a single Mutalisk is always a free Mutalisk. And bam! Serral is forced to tap out. ByuN gets the win in game number 2 here. Hold on a second. What are we missing? Interesting play. Like, okay, so this is where he GG's out, right? Yes, this is where he GG's out. Gosh dang it. I guess he's just assuming all of his Mutas are going to die because, you know, against this many Marines, they are. Gosh dang it. I'm really trying to get this to the point in the game where... Yeah. So he just doesn't have any Banelings, right? We talked about... I just mentioned that. He doesn't have any Banes. That was perfect, actually. So Mutalisk Ling Queen is not going to work against Marine Tank in general. This tank's got 4 kills. The number of Mutalisks here is a pretty heavy amount, but this group up here is a problem. The fact that Serral has not felt comfortable enough to take a 4th base at all, while ByuN's happily running on 3 with a little bit of Ling harassment. It is not a great position, and in fact, one that you probably want to just get a redo on, right? It was a game that was predicated on that initial attack that did end up killing the third base, really slowed Serral down, made this follow-up push much more powerful. And the Zerg player decided, okay, we can live to fight another day. Let's get over here. The fact that ByuN has the 1/1 upgrades and Serral has no upgrades at all as far as armor or attack are concerned is a major problem too. So beautiful. Just really nice little sneaky twofer there for your Sunday. Both players getting a win, which is always nice to see. Both Zerg and Terran happy today. Doesn't happen very much, but it's always nice when it does, I feel like. So, all right. Fantastic. That right there is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void for your Sunday. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.